Jaybird, Lord of the Board over there, just running like crazy.
It's just
my glasses are steaming up.
Oh, it's just that day. It's just that with about 3 weeks are we going on now?
Oh, it's another beautiful day outside.
Yeah.
They didn't invent any new weather for us for today, so it's just the regular freezing rain. No thunder ice today.
No, it's so. Yeah, it's something else we got going on here, and let's see. I'm running the video, trying to get the thing up and running on time. I got trades coming everywhere. I got people upset about trades that are going on.
Unruly fans, trade deadlines.
I mean, we got all kinds of things going on. There's a lot. There's a lot going on.
What do you got for us now?
I get excited about the trade deadline.
Curtis Blow?
Yeah.
All right.
That's what I've been thinking about all day long. So.
Yeah, I mean, this stuff was going into the night and then starting back up right away early this morning. So the big one is they're waiting on Anthony Davis until 3 o'clock, and Magic has decided that they are not going to.
Yeah, I didn't think that was
they're not going to basically outbid themselves. They were waiting for a Pelicans counteroffer, and it doesn't seem like New Orleans is going to give a counteroffer for him. So they're kind of screwing him over a little bit.
Well, yeah, I mean, because he's not going to sign in the offseason, right?
Right.
So I think maybe they were just asking for too much. The Lakers, what they gave was quite a bit.
Oh, they were asking for way too much.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like 5 players plus another draft pick down the road.
But there's got to be something to be said about why the Celtics wanted them to wait, what Ainge was working on, what kind of deal they had there. Meaning it's, I don't know if there was a sign and trade and what the Celtics were going to give them type of thing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So Anthony Davis has to agree to that. I don't know. It's all getting a little chippy out there in the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
KD's upset with the media.
What'd you think about that? Did you watch the whole thing?
No. I
watched the entire thing.
Okay.
He is absolutely right.
Okay, take me through it.
Okay. He is upset at every time he comes in there. They're taking his words. They're twisting them no matter what he says. They keep talking about trades and free agency and everything else. And his point was, I just want to play basketball. Mm-hmm. We just want to play basketball. Let us come play basketball if you have a question about that. And I understand it's the media's job to report. But to stir the pot, in his defense, everything he does say they do twist. He says, I don't know where I'm going to be next year. Future uncertain now for KD. Like, they just twist that instantly. So he's absolutely right. And he looked great in that White Sox hat, too, yesterday.
Well, last Friday, wasn't it that after the Porzingis trade that he was going to the Knicks and Kyrie Irving was going to go too?
Yeah.
And then they were going to get Zion and it was just all going to be over with?
Right.
Like, that was last Friday. And then yesterday, I know I saw the headline that the Warriors were 100% convinced that he's gone after the season.
Right.
Yeah, and then...
But it was nice to see him say, we're just here to play basketball. Let us do that. What's the problem with that? And then he was so ticked off by the end of that. One guy actually asked him like a normal question, and he's like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
He goes, well, you asked us to ask normal questions. We did. He's, I don't trust any of you guys. So that was the caption on the whole thing was, KD doesn't trust anybody in the media. So he's right. He shouldn't. Unless it's us.
Yeah, there you go. And then you have the Harrison Barnes trade.
Yep.
Which really isn't that big of a deal either.
It's a big deal because they did it in the middle of the game.
Well,
he did the right thing.
You trying to tell me that hasn't happened before? That happens in baseball all the time.
And I do think baseball's a little bit different. They don't find out about it typically in the middle of the game. Typically.
Well, how did he find out about it? Was it Instagram? Was he on his phone?
I don't know how he found out about it, to be honest. But he stuck around. He stayed. He sat down on the bench, but he didn't leave the team. He could have easily gone to the locker room, packed his bags, gone home for the night, and made his travel arrangements. But he didn't. He stayed for the rest of the game. So that's good to see.
He's from Iowa. He's classy. That's the way we do things. So, no, I don't think it's that big of a deal. LeBron James took it a little bit.
He did because I think LeBron's a little bit right on this one.
He said, so let me guess. This is cool because they had to do what was best for the franchise,
Yeah, it was
right?
a business decision, so it's okay for them to do this to them. But if a player wants to do this, now I do think the players have a little bit too much power.
Traded this man while he was literally playing in the game and he had zero idea. I'm not knocking who traded him because it's a business and you have to do what you feel what's best. But I want this narrative to start to get real change, and not when a player wants to be traded or leaves a franchise that he's a selfish, ungrateful player. But when they trade you, release, waive, cut, etc., it's best for them. I'm okay with both, honestly, truly am. Just call a spade a spade.
Right. And he used spade emojis.
Yes, he did. And that's okay. LeBron can do that because he's also like the general manager of the entire league.
Right.
So he can say what's right and what's wrong.
Player commish.
Yeah. This is what Jalen Rose had to say about this. Hopefully the sound is better.
Tobias Harris just made a
Not very loud.
game-winning shot and walked to the locker room and got traded right after that to Philly. And guess what? He's happy about it. Harrison Barnes should be enthusiastic to go play for the Kings. I was just sitting here writing down the moves that the Kings made. They got Burt.
Sorry.
Collie Stein, Bagley. Like the Kings, something we thought we'd never say this year, are fighting the Lakers for a playoff spot this year. So, like, this was a good thing for him. I understand how LeBron takes umbrage to it taking place, but that's what happens. I got traded from Toronto to the Knicks on the same day that they played each other.
Right.
I woke up at my condo in Toronto, sat on the Knicks bench during the game, and flew back with the team. That's how this goes. And guess what I was making sure? Did it affect my money?
No,
Oh,
you were
okay.
good.
Okay, good. I'll be on the plane.
One quick point on Harrison Barnes. Brian Windhorst said that Paul Pierce did a little investigative work, found out that Harrison Barnes, according to Pierce, actually did know that he may be traded before the game. So that, LeBron, I get his point, but...
Himbo, please give me a stat whenever you can. What percentage of NBA players at some point in their career get traded?
As part of
I want to say it's about 75%. Tobias Harris
All right.
just made a game-winning shot.
All right. So KD's reference, they're twisting every single thing they say. Paul Pierce did some investigative reporting. He did not say he knew about it beforehand. He said he knew something might be up. He said something might be in the works. He didn't know about it. So KD's exactly right. They just proved his point. They take every single thing they said. Paul Pierce isn't even a current player, former player. He said I did some and
He's media now.
He's media.
Paul Pierce is on the jump.
He had a
daily.
smile. He had a smile on his face and said, "Yeah, I did my homework. Yeah, he knew he might have known something was up before the game. He knew something might be in the works. Something might be happening. He had no idea he was going to be traded, and we don't know. Did he guarantee know this or did he not?
Well, I think
What level did he know?
If you're not, and those who are familiar with Bill Simmons and he does his trade value and it's at 2.0, there's a certain level of where you're untradeable,
Right.
and where it's a package that no one can pass up, or that something might be up. And what he just said, 75% of them get traded. Harrison Barnes falls into that 75% that something might be up during trade deadline
Right.
for you. And what that did is that opened up, what they say, $30 million in salary cap for the Dallas Mavericks next year.
Right.
So they can go out and get another player to now they have their three. With Luka, Porzingis, and now, you got a point. So, yeah, something's up when you have a contract like that. They gave Harrison Barnes a huge contract.
Right. But the difference on knowing something's up versus it's settled, it's guaranteed. They couldn't tell me before the game or wait till after the game to finish the deal. They decided in game and they leaked it, and I find out during the game. So
Well,
I'm not saying it hasn't
no.
happened in the past in other sports, in NBA. It happened. It's just, I think they could do better about it.
Yeah, we'll talk more about this with Rasa when he comes later on in the show. He loves NBA talk, and he loves breaking this stuff down. I want to thank you all for listening to ESPN 93.5. We're also on Facebook Live. You can watch us. We're also on YouTube as well. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at QC Hassel. I want to also remind everybody that in 8 days we will be at the main event playing pool against 4 teens and a tween. Is that their team name?
Sure.
I forget. Nah, you got action. I started talking trash on Facebook to them now.
Nah, they're fine.
I know. Well, like like I said on Facebook.
Is there a height requirement down at the main event? Shorty. No, you're fine. You're above it. But Shorty might not be able to get in.
We haven't seen Shorty in 2 months, so we don't know that.
I have.
Yeah,
I've seen him. Oh, I told you I saw him out on the streets.
Well, they posted on Facebook, to remind everyone that's going to be there. And I said, I was bringing some pros with me. And they said, the trash talk begins. And then I reminded them that maybe they want to change their parental settings so that the teenagers can read all comments.
Right.
So, and I hope none of them get grounded so that they could still do it. But it's going to be a lot of fun.
That would suck.
I know. So they better take out the trash, make their beds, clean their rooms, eat all their vegetables.
T-Roy, you too.
Yeah, eat all the vegetables.
I don't want T-Roy to be grounded.
Again, so today we're going to have Adam Ross on at the second part of the hour. But coming up, we're going to have Megan Peters, her partner Nick. They're in the next installment of QC Dancing with the Stars. We're going to talk about all the training they're doing, what charity Megan's dancing for. We're going to listen to them. Thank you very much for tuning in. And, gosh, I hope you guys are all safe today on this rain, winter mix, freezing.
33-degree day.
33, everything's going to freeze. So, again, thanks for tuning in and Facebook. And leave your comments on the Vans Pizza Pub and Grill Facebook comment line. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.
But if you do need some, snow tires or something else like that, or your oil change, keep your car up to date here in these cold conditions, stop going to your favorite social media sites asking for suggestions of where to get your oil change, who does the best tattoo work, or the best place for lunch in the Quad Cities. Pick up your Locals Love Us guide. It has an easy-to-navigate table of contents to help you find whatever you're looking for. Or go to their website at localsloveus.com, click on Quad Cities, and then browse the favorites. It's so easy to use, they even rank the most popular places for you. While you're on their website, don't forget to vote for our show, Don't Hassle Us, We're Local, and all of our sponsors. Locals Love Us, your guide to the best.
Hey, this is Goose, PA announcer for the Quad City Storm, and you're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local on ESPN 93.5.
Do it again, a little more heart.
You.
Your choice for chiropractic care in the Quad Cities. From little leaguers to high school athletes and the weekend warriors. Treating new injuries, muscle or joint problems, and chronic pain, we're committed to providing cost-effective care for your family's needs. Same-day appointments available most days for new patients and always $20 sports physicals. Sheedy Family Chiropractic, getting you back to work, play, and life. Call today or find us online at sheedychiro.com. That's SHEEDY Cairo.com.
This Saturday at the Tax Slayer Center is Hockey Fight Cancer Night as the Storm battle the Peoria Rivermen in the Cold War on 74. Saturday's game is presented by Essentra Credit Union and KWQC. The Storm will be wearing Hockey Fight's cancer jerseys to be auctioned off after the game, and the first 1,000 fans get a pair of Storm sunglasses. Wednesday, February 6th from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., fans are invited to come to the arena and paint your name or the name of loved ones who have fought cancer on the ice. Ticketmaster fees are still waived when you order online at QuadCityStorm.com.
Now at Menards, save big money on your next project with 11% off everything. Max Bond exterior flat paint and primer in one from Dutch Boy features a no prep, no prime formula for superior adhesion to previously painted surfaces. Just $32.02 a gallon after sale price and 11% off. Additional sizes and finishes are also on sale. Offer ends June 23rd. Stop waiting and start saving with 11% off everything. Now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Women Lead Change is now accepting nominations for the 2019 Athena and Male Champion of Change Awards. Nominations are due by noon on February 15th. This year's awards luncheon will be held on April 4th at the Waterfront Convention Center. For more information on the awards, please call Women Lead Change at 319-423-7175 or visit WLCglobal.org.
When storm damage hits, All Major Restorations is your insurance claim specialist. Loose or missing shingles, dented siding, or damaged windows. All Major Restorations of the Quad Cities works with your insurance company, making the process quick and easy. The insurance company has people fighting for them. Let All Major Restorations work for you. Residential, commercial, and industrial. There's a reason they have an A+ accredited Better Business Bureau rating. Storm damage estimates are always free. Visit amrestorations.com. All Major Restorations of the Quad Cities.
Get more more with McGrath.
Everyone knows more is always better, and that's exactly what you get with the McGrath Used Car Superstore of Davenport. Right, Gavin McGrath?
Without a doubt. We've got more of the used trucks everyone wants, and we'll save you more when you buy.
McGrath backs it up with prices from $10,988.
That's $10,988 on certified 4x4 pickups like F-150s, Rams, Sierras, and Silverados, plus pre-owned SUVs starting at $89.88.
And for those buyers with credit concerns?
It's no concern at the McGrath Used Car Superstore of Davenport. More finance sources to choose from and a team that works hard to get you approved.
It's tax time season, Gavin. Does that mean even more savings?
Absolutely. Bring in your tax refund and we'll double it up to $2,000.
More value for everyone at the McGrath Used Car Superstore of Davenport.
4618 North Brady Street in beautiful Davenport.
Online, McGrathAuto.com. W tax refund up to $2,000 varies based on price point.
ESPN 93.5 is KJOC Bettendorf Quad Cities from the Sheedy Family Chiropractic Studio.
Real quick here, let's see what we got going on here. Nothing. They hung up. Someone was calling in. I was afraid it was probably going to be T-Roy.
No, it's going to be the tween.
Oh, one of the tweens is calling in? Tell them to hold off. They're sitting at home. They're not doing anything. They're teenagers. All right. We are back. ESPN 93.5. Don't hassle us. We're local. We are now in studio with Megan Peters and Nick. I'm sorry. I didn't catch your last name when I introduced myself to you.
It's Nick Molesky.
Nick Molesky. Do you want to throw the headphones on there, Nick, for me?
Sure.
All right. So, Megan, Nick, you are the 2019 competitors in Quad City Dancing with the Stars.
It's Dancing with the QC Stars.
Dancing with the QC Stars, yeah.
Because there are two different ones, aren't there?
Right, there are a few.
Yeah, there's normally like 2 or 3 Dancing with the Stars, Dancing with the QC Stars, QC Dancing with the Stars. So
yep,
they're all a bit
so
different.
we're Dancing with the QC Stars.
Dancing with the QC Stars.
Often imitated, never duplicated, we like to say.
There you go.
Slow down. What? All right, so you guys are dancing at the outing club.
Yes.
On what date?
That's March 8th and 9th, Friday and Saturday.
Okay. And then how did you get involved in this?
I actually got nominated. Our friend Allison Fair, she competed in it in November.
Okay.
And she's a chiropractor in the area. And since she competed, she gets to nominate people, and she nominated me.
All right, now I don't want to bring up rivals, but did Dorf dance in...
Yes, he did.
This one.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It's the same one.
Stressful. Yeah, that was stressful there.
Never seen you so nervous about dancing.
All right. So I just want to make sure, because we as long as we're consistently promoting the same thing. So Megan, what's your charity?
I'm actually dancing for the American Heart Association.
Okay.
So I work in the cardiac cath lab at Trinity Hospital, and heart health is a major thing. It's what I do for a living, so I figured I would raise money for a great organization.
Right on. And Nick, where are you from?
I'm originally from Cleveland.
Okay.
Yep. So I recently moved to the Quad Cities because I just noticed how much the dance business is. People are crazy about it here, and just the arts in general. And it just seemed like something that we would find a lot of fun people that'd be really interested in dancing, and we have. And I've never been busier.
So how did you get hooked up with Quad City Dancing with the Stars?
Well, it's interesting. The guy that I work with, my business partner, is from the Quad Cities, but he lived for a couple of years in Cleveland, and then that's when I started working with him on producing Dancing with the Cleveland Stars. We also do one in South Carolina called Dancing with the Metro Stars, and then Dancing with the QC Stars. This is our 12th show that we've done. We did 3 shows last year at Jumers, and it's just been expanding, and we're on target to do 3 more shows this year too.
How did you two get paired up?
Well, this is one of the industries where being a guy has its advantages. When it comes to professionals that know dozens of dance routines, there's not a lot of them out there, so I just happen to be one of them, and I get to dance and flip girls around all day. I can't really complain. It's a fabulous existence. And Megan, her song choice was one of the dances that I'm strong in, so we grouped us up.
Can you say what that is?
Tango, cha-cha.
Okay.
That's what she's dancing.
I knew she was trying to debate.
Uh-huh.
Yep. I'm doing a tango cha-cha fusion.
Yeah.
Now, I'm trying to remember when Dorp was on. Do you have to do a dance that's already previously been done? Okay. And
that's the idea.
You're doing two, right?
You do like an introductory dance.
We all come out.
Yes.
Okay.
And then you have your competitive dance. And so my competitive dance is the tango cha-cha fusion.
Okay.
And it's actually one that maybe hasn't been done around the Quad Cities before.
Well, all
so
right.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah, we saw it here first.
Yeah.
How often do you guys practice?
Once to twice a week.
Yeah.
Maybe for just about an hour. It doesn't take long, but you can get a lot done in an hour.
Oh, sure.
Well, and there's some people that, dancing is a totally foreign thing to them. Sometimes we, have to work a little harder at first, but Megan's just taken to it like a duck to water. So
Well, she's a dancer. I mean, you got
Yeah.
lucky, Nick.
Yeah.
I mean, she doesn't have two left feet. You're good to go
Luckily,
here.
yeah. The
So-
the ballroom aspect of it, though, is actually pretty hard. I've been always like a jazz and hip-hop dancer, so learning the different statures and postures and the way to actually move across the floor has been kind of foreign to me. So, but I'm catching on.
Oh, I'm sure you're going to do great. So have you competed before, Nick, in this?
Yeah. I've competed. Since I'm a pro partner, I'm not really eligible to be a winner, but a lot of the partners that I've had have gone on to win this. And I dance with so many, so
So you've won before?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Times.
Couple times.
I like to,
Returning champion.
I'm like the poor man's Derek Huff is like what I like to say.
So is it like out of all the other dancers that are here, the pros, are any other multiple time?
Yeah.
Who's got the most? Like, who's got the most titles then out of the pros? This is something you should know, because if you're not it, maybe you are it, and you just don't even look.
Doesn't know.
I think
That's just it. Yeah.
I am at current reigning.
Yeah.
I will say
if
that.
there's no one in front of you, you can't name it, right? You're the leader. So.
Exactly. I don't know. Connor's giving me a good run for my money, though. We got this really, really buff, super fit, super fun, cute. Everybody's madly in love with him. I feel like he's always like close competition, but
Close, but not close enough.
no cigar.
Do you know anybody else who's competing, Megan, from the Quad Cities?
Oh, there's a handful of people that I know, but they're people from all over the community. There are real estate agents. There are people that work in healthcare. Molly Smith.
Oh, Molly's doing it.
Molly's
Yes.
going to do it.
That's fantastic.
Our friend from Hey Brian, Sarah Carver, I believe, is
Yes,
doing it.
Sarah
correct?
Carver's doing it, yeah.
I knew somebody gave me a list the other day. I was just trying to study up for you guys.
Yeah,
and
thanks.
I recognize at least 2 or 3 more names on there. So,
Yep.
I mean, it's the QC stars, Jay. It's not the QC who are yous.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm just a nobody. I don't know all these names. You guys, I mean, I know Molly Smith, but you guys are the popular ones. So you're raising money though for this. You have to sell tickets.
Right. Our ticket sales. A portion of the ticket sales goes to our charity of choice. So each dancer gets to pick their own charity to raise money for. So a portion of that goes to our charity.
How are you selling tickets?
You can go online.
Yeah, at dancingwiththeqcstars.com.
And you can purchase tickets there. Otherwise, the dancers all have tickets that they can sell cash and carry, basically. So there are 2 different tiers of tickets. There are the VIP tickets, which are $60, and the general admission tickets, which are $30. The VIP tickets get you a pre-show cocktail party, free beer and wine, and they also get you prime seating around the dance floor.
Free beer, cocktail,
This
and
is
wine.
March what?
March 8th and 9th.
8th and 9th. Gotcha.
Yep,
At
so
the
it's
Outing Club.
At the Outing Club in Davenport, yes. So it's divided into 2 nights, mostly because we have a lot of competitors. So we need to get them all their spotlight time.
Okay, now if they go on the website, which I did put in the comment thread, so there's a link to the website right on there, can they still click your name to give you credit on the website, or do they have to just contact you if they want to get ticket sales for you?
There's actually a note section
Okay.
on the
You
website,
just put
so
your
you
name
can
in
just
there.
put my name
Okay.
on there. That way
Awesome.
they know who to get the tickets
That's
to.
smart.
Yeah.
Nick, what's up, man?
And if you guys want to meet the current cast of Dancing with the QC Stars,
Which we
and
do
yeah.
this coming tomorrow.
Yes,
It's tomorrow.
Yes,
See,
tomorrow night at the
I
Phoenix.
studied.
You did your research.
What's going on? Fill me in.
So
Jay, we got plans.
So we are having, as we usually do, a meet and greet for our current cast, and we invite all of our former cast members and their friends to a cocktail party that we throw, which will be at the Phoenix on West 2nd Street, which is actually where our studio is located, and that's tomorrow night at 9 o'clock.
I'm sorry, did you say it was admission? No admission?
No admission.
Free admission. Just come on down to the Phoenix.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night.
Drinks at the bar,
Cool.
Meet everybody.
And actually, I think Nick is going to be teaching a group salsa class beforehand at 8 o'clock.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
At Phoenix also?
Yeah. The,
Yep.
the second floor is a studio that's like our headquarters, and I teach group classes on Friday nights at 8 o'clock. So if you want to check that out.
So who organizes all this? Who organizes Dancing with the QC Stars?
So half of it is me, myself, and then I have a business partner, Johnny, the one who's from here, who
Is it
originally.
Johnny Castle?
I've heard of him, but no. No. Different Johnny.
You know where I'm going here, right?
No.
Castle.
Going to reality
Johnny
TV
Castle,
shows?
I know, I don't think.
No, Johnny Castle. That's from Dirty Dancing.
Oh, that John.
Oh, yeah, it is
I'm
him.
just prepared for you to talk about reality TV once you start getting into competitions and shows like this. So
Get close to that. I was thinking about it. I actually think this week they're showing an anniversary.
they don't have masks on, Jay. You know, there's there's no golden buzzer.
I don't know. I just think that's all. I'm just thinking of, like, when you think of dances, like the guy comes in, he's like, I'm thinking of messing things up, going with the pachanga. So. No, I think this is great. We had Dorf on, but we didn't really have him in fast enough time to sell tickets. So he
Gotcha.
was still doing out of pocket, but there wasn't the online stuff I already had. And so that's why I got a hold of you, because one, I know you, and I know you're a very good dancer, and I know it's going to be incredible.
Thank
and
you.
get to meet Nick, but I also want to, push your ticket sales and everything. So
I appreciate that. Thank
what
you.
is it that they get if they win the?
Okay, so they win the Mirrorball Trophy.
There we
There's a trip to Cancun, Mexico.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah. So
With the
there's a
group,
prize.
with the cast.
The other people, if they want to tag along, they can
They can pay their own way.
they can pay their own way. But yeah, the winners get the trip to Cancun, Mexico,
Right on.
which is pretty cool.
So you guys just doing this once or twice a week, up until again, date search.
March 8th and 9th.
March 8th and 9th at the Outing Club.
Yes.
That's
It's
awesome.
also in the comments too. So
No, just stick around through the break. I want to ask you guys some more questions. Okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Front Street Brewery, the oldest brew pub in the state of Iowa, is nestled beautifully along the bank of the mighty Mississippi. It's served the fine community of Davenport, Iowa since 1992, with awesome beers such as the Davenport Gold, a satisfying American ale, pale straw in color with a sweet corn-like aroma and a crisp, clean finish. Smooth, balanced, and refreshing. The Wise Guy is their take on the instantly recognizable German wheat beer that staked its claim on palates around the world. Brewed with noble German yeast, this refreshingly sweet and smooth brew features a citrusy tart aroma with significant notes of banana and clove. Or the Raging River, an English-inspired American India Pale Ale with incredible balance featuring an earthy, slightly fruity hop aroma with moderately bready malt notes. A bronze-colored IPA, this is your gateway IPA. Check out their Facebook page for food and drink specials. Also visit their webpage at www.frontstreetbrew.com. Check out their restaurant at 208 East River Drive or the tap room at the Freight House Complex. That's Front Street Brewery, www.frontstreetbrew.com.
Quad City Times, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local on ESPN 93.5.
I wanna be a cowboy, and you can be my cowgirl. I wanna be a cowboy, and you can be my cowgirl.
When storm damage hits, All Major Restorations is your insurance claim specialist. Loose or missing shingles, dented siding, or damaged windows. All Major Restorations of the Quad Cities works with your insurance company, making the process quick and easy. The insurance company has people fighting for them. Let All Major Restorations work for you. Residential, commercial, and industrial. There's a reason they have an A+ accredited Better Business Bureau rating. Storm damage estimates are always free. Visit amrestorations.com. All Major Restorations of the Quad Cities.
There's a reason people keep coming back to Casey's General Stores. Maybe it's because we've been serving communities like yours for over 50 years. Maybe it's the smiles and friendly conversation you'll find here. Or maybe it's because we continue to spend the extra time preparing our made-from-scratch pizza the way you want it. Right now, get a large chicken bacon ranch pizza for only $13.99. Casey's, famous for pizza. Not valid with any other offer.
Hey, it's T-Roy from Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. We've got your chance to win tickets to see two-time Grammy-nominated blues rock guitarist Joe Bonamassa, Thursday, March 7th at the Adler Theater. You can win your pair every day while we talk sports on Don't Hassle Us, We're Local between noon and 2. You can also register to win a pair by entering on the ESPN 93.5 app. Don't miss the Guitar Rock Fin of the Year, Joe Bonamassa, at the Adler Theater Thursday, March 7th. Tickets now on sale through Ticketmaster or the Adler Theater box office. Listen to win from Don't Hassle Us, We're Local and ESPN 93.5.
ESPN 93.5 wants you to be an insider. Access great contests and giveaways and be in the know at ESPN935.com. Brought to you by Necker's Jewelers, where the Quad Cities gets engaged, and ESPN Quad Cities. From local to global, ESPN 93.5 has you covered with your Quad Cities sports talk show. It's Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. Talk sports with your favorite foursome, T-Roy, J-Bird, Surge, and you. Weekdays from noon to 2 on ESPN 93.5.
Get more with McGrath.
Everyone knows more is always better, and that's exactly what you get with the McGrath Used Car Superstore of Davenport. Right, Gavin McGrath?
Without a doubt. We've got more of the used trucks everyone wants, and we'll save you more when you buy.
McGrath backs it up with prices from $10,988.
That's $10,988 on certified 4x4 pickups like F-150s, Rams, Sierras, and Silverados, plus pre-owned SUVs starting at $89.88.
And for those buyers with credit concerns?
It's no concern at the McGrath Used Car Superstore of Davenport. More finance sources to choose from and a team that works hard to get you approved.
It's tax time season, Gavin. Does that mean even more savings?
Absolutely. Bring in your tax refund and we'll double it up to $2,000.
More value for everyone at the McGrath Used Car Superstore of Davenport.
4618 North Brady Street in beautiful Davenport.
Online, McGrathAuto.com. Double your tax refund up to $2,000 varies based on price point.
Now, back to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local on ESPN 93.5.
Welcome back to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local on ESPN 93.5. We're currently in studio with Megan and Nick from Dancing with the QC Stars. We were talking off the air. Talk to me about the Facebook page, Nick.
All right, so we encourage everybody in the Quad Cities that wants to attend the show or just know what's going on, see who's in the lineup, to like us. It's Dancing with the QC Stars. We post practice videos, just fun stuff like that, and also you get to kind of meet the people that are in the current cast,
Mm-hmm. And it also, again, one more time, that night before is when you meet everybody. And you're also going to have a salsa class at the Phoenix.
That's this Friday.
That's actually tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. I'm
night.
sorry. That's the one you said we're busy. I'm all over. I'm doing Techie's job.
Yep.
And this the weather canceled school, so Techie's at home
Tomorrow night at the Phoenix, and just remind me what time that is.
Yep. So group class is at 8:00.
Okay.
And then our meet and greet cast party is downstairs at the bar at 9:00.
Okay. Salsa lessons, is that open to the public right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Any cost?
Yeah, we're doing couples are 30, singles are 20. But
$20, go salsa for a little bit.
Yeah,
Go dance with Nick.
it's a good time.
Yeah.
It's a great time.
Okay, so
Get some
tomorrow
new
night
partners.
and then March 8th and 9th at the Outing Club.
Yeah.
What's the times? What times that start typically?
So the VIP party starts at 6:00, and then the show time is at 7:30.
Okay.
So anybody with VIP tickets gets in at 6:00. They get that the VIP cocktail party with.
If you want to start boozing a little bit early.
Yeah, a little pre-gaming,
Yep.
So, Nick, you come to the Quad Cities all the way from Cleveland, where Cavs are at, the Browns, the Indians, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah.
Drew Carey.
Especially that.
Yeah. And so you make it. You make the trip to the Quad Cities. You throw a dart at the map of all the biggest places for dancing, and it lands on the Quad Cities, right?
Yeah, well, I think it's it's a diamond in the rough. Quad Cities seems
I
like
agree.
a young city to me, and Cleveland is so established. It's one of the old originals, and they have everything you could think of there. And in the Quad Cities, all this stuff is just starting to spring up, and it'd be a great place to start something big.
I agree. I like what you said when we were talking out the air. LeBron left, so did you. The two
Yeah.
biggest guys got, hey, if he doesn't want to be there, I don't want to be there, right?
I don't. No.
How's the Quad Cities treating you so far?
It's really awesome. The people here are super friendly, and they look out for each other. And I've had such a warm reception to coming here. People are making me feel like I made the right choice.
Good. All right. And then Megan, you said you work in the
Cardiac cath lab.
cardiac cath lab, and also on the side you do a little dancing workout thing, right?
Yeah, I actually, just as a challenge to myself, a couple years back, I wanted to see if I could get certification to instruct a dance class.
Okay.
And the dance class is actually a dance workout class. It's called the Vixen Workout. It originated in Miami, and I'm actually the only certified instructor in the state of Iowa.
See, look at that, Nick. You got that going too.
Yeah.
I tell you what, can we put
He's
odds
like, I
on,
know this, man.
Can we put odds on this? Can we put odds on who's going to win the crystal ball? I'm going to mess this up.
Of course we will.
There might be some surprises out there, though,
And then there's, on the Vans Pizza Pub and Grill Facebook comment line, there's a large trophy that may or may not be taller than me.
Affirmative.
It is?
Yep.
So you get this crystal ball, a trophy.
Mm-hmm.
You get the bragging rights of being the multiple, more than anyone else champion, Nick. And then trip to Cancun.
Yeah.
This is all. I can't believe Money turned down this thing when someone nominated him.
Yeah, I can.
I was so sad to hear that, too. Money would have been great.
I know. I can't believe he turned that down to win this. I think Julian Vanderbilt is doing this too, isn't he?
I think so.
Yeah, Julian's
Yeah.
in. Yep,
Yeah.
he's in.
He's a friend of the show.
Nice.
Yeah, he don't sleep on him.
Oh no, he's got some moves and power, and he's gonna be flipping that girl every which way. He's got a pretty sweet routine.
So I'd imagine you're pretty good at using everyone's, whatever they have strengths to their advantage. It's a big guy like Julian being as strong as he is. Like Julian's arms are like the size of our head. When we've had him in studio for anything before, like he sits down, he's just such a big guy. But yeah, I've heard he can move around a little bit. So
he's very agile. When I shot the practice video of him, I was like, wow, he can move, pretty fast, for such a big dude. Yep.
I'd like to find out his if he had any dance history, because a lot of professional athletes, especially football, they used to have a little bit of a dance background as part of their agility training. So we'll have to dig into Julian's training.
That all started with Mean Joe Green.
Yeah,
he started. He went when he was really young in age. He started taking ballet to help his balance.
Yeah,
and then instead
ballet would help your balance, your agility, mind-body connection. Is crazy with dance.
Yeah, I mean, I was put into dance when I was younger.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'd really. This is the dead honest truth. I had trouble hearing, and hearing affects your balance, and so I would like fall over all the time, and now I just fall over for other reasons.
Hey Nick, our friends out at Locals Love Us.
Yeah,
they're in the vicinity. They were going to grab a T-shirt for you. They asked what size T-shirt you wear.
I'll do a medium.
Medium. All right, Chopper. Hear that?
Chopper's on his way in here.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was right. I think he's going to drop it off. I told him to stop in.
Okay.
So,
but yes, it does help you bounce. And like I said, I had tubes and everything else, and my mom put me in dance class when I was younger to help me with my balance. So
that's awesome.
So like I said, Julian's going to be Julian. Don't sleep on him. Plus, he could also sing the national anthem before you guys start.
Oh yeah, great.
Oh, there we go.
Or in the middle of his dance routine.
No,
maybe we'll just mic it.
But
just the music just stops.
Right.
So, Megan, let me ask you: are you nervous?
For other reasons than dance, actually. I'm excited to do the dance part, but obviously the performance aspect in front of a bunch of people is a little nerve-wracking. Also, the attire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does it? Did you get to pick it, or did they say like, "Hey, this is what we want," and then?
I haven't heard about it yet.
Oh, so that's what it is.
Details to come.
Do you get it, Nick? Do you get to take her like Pretty Woman style shopping, and she gets to try on different dresses, and you just get to go no, and you're like, oh, that's the one.
Usually as a last resort. I do a lot of online shopping and stuff like this. So this is like a costume crunch time. I mean, we have a costume department with over 300 amazing costumes, but there are the times that we have to get down to business and find something, online or in the shop. So
yeah, so we'll see.
I think you guys are going to do great. So do you feel like you could do the dance right now? Not here. I'm just saying, do you feel like that confident, like the dance?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I could get through it.
Okay.
I'm at like the cleaning aspect of it. I want it to look crisp and sharp and
Good word.
professional.
Yeah. When do you learn the beginning dance?
The compulsory dance?
There you go. Compulsory dance.
We just started practicing that. So the main goal was to get through your competitive dance. And so once they felt like you had it down, or at least were able to get through it in one round, then you move on to the compulsory. So
Nick,
we've been touching on that.
Nick, do you and Johnny choreograph the compulsory?
Yeah, actually, I've been in charge of that for the last couple shows. So I come up with custom ones for each person. So kind of that reflects their style and maybe gives, a hint towards the kind of dance that they're going to be doing.
Yeah. Have you done it at the outing club before?
No, this is our first time recently. We've had shows there, like Johnny's done them a long time ago in the past, but yeah, we're coming back there.
How many years has Dancing with the QC Stars been here in the Quad Cities?
I want to say before I was on the scene, they were doing them even 8 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I know it's been around for a little while, but
yeah.
Nick's been with them for the past 3 years.
3 years,
right?
yeah.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So
glad to have you.
Is there a different type of logistics to the outing club than Jumers that you have to work with?
Yeah, the capacity is a little bit smaller, but it's just very sumptuously decorated, and it just has that kind of like old world style that really ballroom looks really good in a setting like that. And yeah, so basically, size and the layout is a lot different, but we feel like it's going to be really
I'm excited to see how it turns out. I mean, it's not going to be like your normal convention room.
Okay.
They're going to really decorate it. The building itself is just going to lend to that. So.
Okay. So tomorrow night at the Phoenix is the salsa dance and meet the cast, right?
Yes.
Yep.
And then this is the 8th and 9th of March at the outing club. Megan, you are dancing for, tell us again.
The American Heart Association.
The American Heart Association. Okay. And how can they get tickets?
You can go online to dancingwiththeqcstars.com. Or you could go on Facebook and hit up your dancer friend that's going to be competing and say, I want tickets.
Or hit up you on Facebook.
Or hit
and
up
get
me
tickets
on
from you.
Facebook.
Right.
I'm trying to promote everybody. Come on now.
I know, but we're here to promote you too. So.
Okay. And then
and by the way, tickets are limited.
they are.
Okay.
They are limited.
And the $60, the VIP is what again?
VIP tickets are $60. It gets you the pre-show party with free beer and wine from 6 to 7:30, and then it also gets you prime seating.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it. It's very nice meeting you, Nick, Megan. You got my support 100%.
Thank you very much.
And we'll keep pushing you for you to get sell your tickets out and everything, and hopefully you get the very tall trophy.
Yes.
The crystal ball and the trip to Cancun.
And the bragging rights.
And of course the bragging rights.
Bragging
I mean,
rights.
you got the best with you as your partner too, and Nick, you've got the best here in the Quad Cities. I think they're early favorites.
I
think so.
If I had to
the
gamble
odds
on
will
it,
come out and we'll let you know.
yeah,
next.
we'll let the odds.
Oh gosh.
we'll get the odds.
Don't let me know until after
Okay.
the event, okay?
Gotcha.
All right, we got to take a quick break, guys. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks
It was
for
a
having
pleasure.
us.
Yes.
Do you want the latest in TV and security technology but don't know where to start? Call Done Right TV and Security Solutions, your Dish premier local retailer, to get started today. They'll take the guesswork out of choosing the latest smart home technology with your budget in mind. Dish has been a leader in technology for years, and the Hopper Smart HD DVR interacts with your smart speaker to change channels, pause, and fast forward with just the sound of your voice. Sign up today and receive a Nest doorbell system free courtesy of Done Right. So call 866-84-RIGHT today. Let Done Right provide local professional installation with personal service that's trusted by thousands of homeowners and businesses in the Quad Cities. Restrictions apply. It requires an internet-connected Hopper. That's Done Right TV and Security, 866-84-RIGHT.
I'd give a rat's ass about Twitter.
Awesome job, you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Woo!
ESPN 93.5 wants you to be an insider. Access great contests and giveaways and be in the know at ESPN935.com. Brought to you by Necker's Jewelers, where the Quad Cities gets engaged, and ESPN Quad Cities. From local to global, ESPN 93.5 has you covered with your Quad Cities sports talk show. It's Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. Talk sports with your favorite foursome, T-Roy, Jay-Bird, Serge, and you. Weekdays from noon to 2 on ESPN 93.5.
When storm damage hits, All Major Restorations is your insurance claim specialist. Loose or missing shingles, dented siding, or damaged windows. All Major Restorations of the Quad Cities works with your insurance company, making the process quick and easy. The insurance company has people fighting for them. Let All Major Restorations work for you. Residential, commercial, and industrial. There's a reason they have an A+ accredited Better Business Bureau rating. Storm damage estimates are always free. Visit amrestorations.com. All Major Restorations of the Quad Cities.
Gobo Productions presents One Night of Queen. Since forming in 2002, Gary Mullen and the Works have performed to sellout audiences all over the world.
And now they're back in the USA
for a brand new tour.
One Night of Queen is a spectacular live concert recreating the look, sound, and showmanship
of arguably the greatest rock band of all time.
You'll hear classic Queen numbers including
We Will Rock You, Fat Bottom Girls, Another One Bites the Dust, Bohemian Rhapsody, and We Are the Champions.
One Night of Queen, performed by Gary Mullen and the Works.
This show will rock you.
Coming to the TaxSlayer Center March 24th. Tickets are on sale now at the TaxSlayer Center box office and Ticketmaster.com. Presented by Town Square Media.
There's a reason people keep coming back to Casey's General Stores. Maybe it's because we've been serving communities like yours for over 50 years. Maybe it's the smiles and friendly conversation you'll find here. Or maybe it's because we continue to spend the extra time preparing our made-from-scratch pizza the way you want it. Right now, get a large chicken bacon ranch pizza for only $13.99. Casey's, famous for pizza. Not valid with any other offer.
Hey, it's T-Roy from Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. We've got your chance to win tickets to see two-time Grammy-nominated blues rock guitarist Joe Bonamassa, Thursday, March 7th at the Adler Theater. You can win your pair every day while we talk sports on Don't Hassle Us, We're Local between noon and 2. You can also register to win a pair by entering on the ESPN 93.5 app. Don't miss the Guitar Rock Band of the Year, Joe Bonamassa, at the Adler Theater Thursday, March 7th. Tickets now on sale through Ticketmaster or the Adler Theater box office. Listen to win from Don't Hassle Us, We're Local and ESPN 93.5.
ESPN 93.5 is KJOC Bettendorf Quad Cities from the Sheedy Family Chiropractic Studio.
Welcome back to Don't Hassle Us for Local, ESPN 93.5 FM. Want to thank Megan and Nick from Dancing with the QC Stars for stopping in and talking to us. Always a pleasure to talk to them. And that's just, again, things that we can do for the Quad Cities, anything local like that, always makes me happy to reach out and ask them.
Well, one thing we talked about off air with those guys was the number of charities that benefit from this, that are supported in this, because it's easily the number of contestants. If each one has their own charity that they're donating to and everything in support of, that's, you're looking at 30 charities. That's amazing. That's just in one event.
Yeah.
So,
and then again, you can the tickets that you're getting that she talked about, even the VIP, this is all tax deductible, and you can get an entire table, for seats up to 8.
Yep.
So your company wants to buy it and go out. Have you been in attendance one of these?
Yeah.
Okay. When did you go?
Just years ago. A few years ago. I haven't been able to go in recent years, but
interesting. Yeah, I mean, I know the show. I've seen it a few times. And usually, like, they do put favorites. They do put odds for who's going to win for the Dancing with Stars on ABC.
Yeah.
An athlete usually does fairly well.
Yeah, the only reason I haven't been able to go in recent past is just work. I mean, it's always on weekend nights, and that's normally when I'm behind the bar somewhere. So,
I'm telling you, Megan will win this. She should be the favorite.
Okay.
Easily.
Yeah, I've seen her dance.
Yeah.
I don't know who's all involved. There's a lot of competition. There's some good competition, too. So
I feel like if Molly's listening, she's going to text me and tell me she's going to block me from Facebook or something.
She's going to get so mad her thumbs won't work.
There you go. All right, so the big thing coming up this weekend that we've been pushing, and I do have to reach out to somebody from the Salt Lake Stallions, is the AAF, which we also have to ask her, do we call it the Alliance?
We are going to call it the Alliance.
Because every time we talk to someone, when we talk to
They refer
Drew,
to it as the Alliance,
Yeah.
not the Alliance of American Football or the AAF, which AAF is not easy to say, number one.
Yeah.
Number two, the Alliance of American Football is like we don't say the National
Yeah.
Football League all the time.
Yeah.
We say the NFL. So they're going to say the Alliance, which I like.
Yeah.
And then we also talked about their championship game. It doesn't have a name decided yet, but most likely it's going to be called the Alliance Bowl if they decide to stick with the bowl part of the name.
Okay, well, for those of you who aren't too familiar with what the Alliance is, or the AAF, it is a new football league that's going to be kicking off Saturday and Sunday. It's 8 teams. All the teams are below, all the cities are below the Mason-Dixon line. All the stadiums that they have hold less than 55,000 people. The reason for this one is it's football in February. April and February, March and April. And, if 55,000 fans or less, they want it to seem somewhat, filled up. And the question is, the one thing everyone says is it's going to fold, right?
I think they've learned their lesson. I don't think it's going to fold right away. I think it's too early to tell, number one. Number two, it's got more organization and more support already than all these other leagues have had. Don't you agree?
I do agree. Okay, so first off, let's just really look at it. It was in the 1960s when the AFL started.
Right.
So that obviously merged in, and that merged in by 1969, the Jets, with Joe Namath, we all know that. Then you have the USFL. That only lasted 3 years, but that was because of bankruptcy. Then the XFL, which was really just a way to promote the WWF, right?
Uh-huh.
So this one's a little bit different. One with your coaches, because we've already mentioned the coaches with like Mike Singletary, Steve Spurrier,
big name coaches,
Mike Riley.
and not just names.
No,
experienced veteran coaches that know what the heck they're doing.
Exactly. You've also got like Mike Martz too. You've got Charlie Ebersol is the guy who started it. That's the son of Dick Ebersol, who's partners with Vince McMahon in the XFL. Bill Polian of the Indianapolis Colts, the former GM, he's involved in it. Hines Ward is like in charge of players. Troy Polamalu's involved. So they've got a very big management team. They've got a lot of things to do with the NFL. So some of the changes that we should have been aware of, but we weren't, was there no extra point kicks. They always have to go for 2.
Mm-hmm.
There is no kickoffs. They always start at the 25. If you want an onside, you get the ball on the 28, and it's a 4th and 12. So if you don't convert, the other team gets the ball. And there's a 35-second play clock.
Okay.
Not NFL's 40. This is 35. Why not 30? Because Charlie Ebersol feels like at 30, this play will get too sloppy. No TV timeouts.
It's interesting.
Yes. So only during breaks. Some other things. The NFL, players can void their contracts if they're picked up by an NFL squad.
Okay.
So
do you think the NFL is looking at this as a good thing?
Yeah, I think the NFL is working with them pretty well.
I think so
from
too.
what I'm reading here, it says the NFL sees the alliance as a proving ground for players and a terrific chance to watch a player develop before adding them to a roster. The other thing, and this was brought to my attention, they're going to put a sky judge. So
like a referee eye in the sky?
That's right.
Like an actual person or a
No,
machine?
It's a machine.
It'd be a lot cooler to see. I was about to say funner. It'd be a lot cooler to see an actual referee, like a 60-year-old man sitting up like on a swing.
The Sky Judge will have real-time technology at their disposal to correct clear errors involving player safety anytime during the game, as well as pass interference inside of 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. The decision to institute such a change to the way things are currently done in other football leagues was easier than throwing a penalty flag in the waning moments of the NFC Championship. Anyway, Polian says the idea that you don't have an official that's capable of seeing what the viewer sees on TV is bizarre. And the NFC Championship game was a big factor that brought it into focus. So adding the eighth judge to catch what is the gregarious? Thank you.
Egregious?
There you go, egregious. To me, sounds like a natural solution. All right.
Because the word egregious came out in full force back when that penalty hit.
Yeah.
So that was the most egregious non-call in history.
Here's the one more thing that we are missing. And it might as well, we'll be on the forefront. It really depends on how many people are listening, paying attention, especially people out there who are running, owning, in charge of remote controls at a bar. Okay? The first game, Atlanta and Orlando, will be on CBS on February 9th. After that, the CBS Sports Network on channel 221 and DirecTV, I'll just help you all out there, will show one game a week.
One of the two. There's 2 games a week.
One of the 4.
There's 4 games a week, sorry.
The other ones will be on live streaming.
Okay.
All the playoff games are televised on TNT, CBS, or CBS Sports Network. So, get your if you want to be at a place, if your favorite watering hole is where you're going to watch the Alliance games, it has to be streaming. So, so don't go in there and yell at your bartender and say, I want to see the Birmingham Iron versus the Salt Lake Stallions now.
I don't think anybody but you would do that.
Make me a bicycle, clown. Start
Laughing
yelling at him,
funny
give me the
man to make
remote. It's on streaming.
I think most people will either know that ahead of time or know that it's streaming.
Do
ahead of
you?
time.
It's only been 3 years that the Cubs are on WGN like every 4 games,
Yeah, but
games, and they
that's-
still
okay, but that's-
people don't get it.
But that's the Chicago Cubs. That's Major League Baseball. People are going to walk in here and go, any chance you might have the Arizona Hot Shots game on? And the bartender's going to go, let me check. Oh, I think it's only streaming from what I know. Okay, it was worth a shot. A hot shot.
Okay, fair. It might have been selling the Alliance a little bit too high there.
A little bit, buddy.
Yeah. Maybe you're right there.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I know. You're right.
The Express are on.
Yeah.
What are we watching this playoff basketball for?
Speaking of the Express, we're going to have the reporter Dylan of the Memphis Express on tomorrow to call in. I'm going to have to reach out here to Chantel of the Salt Lake Stallions here in a second to make sure that practice gets over with in time.
Okay.
She doesn't want to get yelled at over on the air like our man Mark Burnett did yesterday.
Did you go back and listen to that?
No, I didn't. I just read the comments as well.
Yeah, it was good.
Oh, wait. Hello, you're on the air.
Hello.
Hello, this is ESPN 93.5. Who's this?
This is Sam
Sam.
from Team You Got Action.
Oh, Sam from You Got Action. Which Sam is this? Like, what nickname am I talking to?
Rhino.
Who?
Rhino.
Rhino.
All right. What's going on, man?
Nothing. Not much.
Are you practicing for a week from Friday?
Yeah, I've been practicing.
You should.
So have we.
Yeah. So yes, I mean, this is not really fair. See, you get out of school to go and practice pool while we have to go to work every day. So it's really, you've already got an unfair advantage because you get to practice for this event that's coming up in 8 days, right?
Yeah, but well, do I really have to practice to beat you guys?
That's what. I think maybe you do. I don't. You don't really see. We get to see videos that are posted online on Facebook Live and
Never
everything else.
underestimate your competition.
Yeah, never underestimate your competition. You've never seen me play pool.
Have you guys ever played pool?
See, you don't even know. I love it.
Yeah, we play bumper pool, caroms, all kinds. I play pool, 8-ball, 9-ball. What about you? What's your game?
8-ball, 10-ball, pretty much everything.
10-ball. I didn't want to mention that. I didn't think you knew what that was. Yeah, I'm really good at 10-ball too. So anyway, so all this time off school, seriously, what have you been practicing, or you just been? What do you do with this all this time?
Sometimes I gotta stay at home because it's sometimes too cold to go outside.
Yeah.
But
You don't
got
have a pool table
at home.
You have a pool table at home? This is ridiculous. All right, so this is Rhino from You Got Action, and So you know we're coming to take some of that action, right? We're going to take when we win, do we get your Iowa State title and do we get to go to Las Vegas instead?
No.
No?
No.
Do you know that T-Roy was unbeatable 25 years ago?
What?
Yeah. T-Roy, the other guy that's on the show with us normally, 25 years ago, he was unbeatable.
How many times did he play?
Back in the day?
Oh, he was in leagues and everything.
I'll have to check the record books.
Yeah, you got to go back into the archives in Waterloo. It's in the Waterloo Courier archives at the Waterloo Public Library. It's not something you can find online. You got to go back into files. It's tough. It's tough. So listen, what on Friday next week, Friday the 15th at the main event at 4:30, we are going to be playing you guys in pool, and we're going to raise money for you guys because you're going to Las Vegas in May because you guys won the Iowa State Billiards Championship against a bunch of adults, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to raise some money for you guys because you got for your trip, and then you guys have a trivia night coming up soon too, right?
Yeah.
What night is that?
That's the day after the 16th.
So it's February 16th. Okay. And the trivia night is at Knights of Columbus, right?
Yep.
All right. And so I know you guys gotten donations from us, so you guys will have a lot of raffle items, and you can win trivia. There'll be 50-50 and all kinds of good stuff. So, Rhino, on a scale of 1 to 10, how nervous are you to play us in pool next Friday?
On a scale of 1 to 10?
1 to 10, yeah. There's like 10 ball. You can count up 10, right? Rhino?
3, only because there's going to be cameras.
All right. I can live with the 3.
All right, Rhino, thanks for calling in, man. We appreciate your time. You have a good day. Stay safe, okay, buddy?
Okay.
We'll see you on Friday. Take care.
Okay, see ya.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we're in studio with Adam Rosso from Hawkeye Headquarters, WHBF.
Can I ask one quick question?
Hold on. Yeah, go on.
One quick question.
Sure.
I don't want to bash on the young man, but
Yeah.
do they shoot pool outside? Because it's not too cold to get somewhere to shoot pool.
He's got a pool table in his basement.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't.
And he's home on a snow day.
Yeah, I mean, that's snow days. Used to be shooting pool like 10 times in the last 2 weeks with all this time off.
I would say he should be doing.
It's the perfect time to work on it for next Friday to show all you clowns how he does it.
He should be doing 3 days to go against us. All right, well, let's take a quick break.
QCLocal.biz and Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. We'll be giving away bundled packages every week to local businesses. Maybe a night out for dinner and drinks, plus a stay at a local hotel, or a couple of rounds of golf with dinner and drinks. We'll be putting together different packages to be given away every week. Get yourself registered by texting QC Local to 85100. Not only will that get you registered for every giveaway, you will also be subscribed to be notified by QCLocal.biz of specials going on at local businesses that you can only get with QCLocal.biz. Text QC Local to 85100 to get yourself registered for our weekly giveaway. Get all the local buzz at QCLocal.biz.
This is Bobby Metcalf from the Quad City Times, and you're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local on ESPN 93.5.
Renewal by Anderson.
I'm Sam Hare with Renewal by Anderson. The spring home show is on the way. It's time to start thinking about replacing those old, drafty, and hard-to-open windows with new, energy-efficient, and easy-to-clean windows from Renewal by Anderson. See our easy-to-clean and low-maintenance windows that'll also save you on energy. This year, you can register to win $20,000 in windows and doors. Through February, buy one window and get one 40% off. Plus, we have exclusive home show savings. And text the word HOUSE to 96714 for additional home show savings. Spring is a great time to start thinking about new windows on your home, and buying is easy with our special home show financing plans. Text the word HOUSE to 96714 for additional home show savings. Check out renewalbyanderson.com for details, or visit our showroom on 35th Street in Davenport.
Renewal by Anderson. We love our new windows.
Gobo Productions presents One Night of Queen. Since forming in 2002, Gary Mullen and the Works have performed to sellout audiences all over the world. And now they're back in the USA for a brand new tour. One Night of Queen is a spectacular live concert recreating the look, sound, and showmanship of arguably the greatest rock band of all time.
You'll hear classic Queen numbers, including
We Will Rock You, Fat Bottom Girls, Another One Bites the Dust, Bohemian Rhapsody, and We Are the Champions.
One Night of Queen, performed by Gary Mullen and the Works.
This show will rock you.
Coming to the TaxSlayer Center March 24th. Tickets are on sale now at the TaxSlayer Center box office and Ticketmaster.com. Presented by Town Square Media.
Get your maximum refund and your taxes prepared for half the price with AmeriFile.
I'm Christy, a single mom from Bettendorf. I got tired of paying $250 at H&R Block, so I went to AmeriFile. As advertised, they did my taxes for far less than half the price.
Bring in a copy of last year's tax return done by H&R Block, Jackson Hewitt, Liberty Tax, or any other tax preparer, and we will cut your tax prep fees in half, guaranteed.
This year, AmeriFile has the best tax prep deal in town. Save hundreds having your taxes prepared with AmeriFile, and you get a coupon for free Rudy's Tacos, Whitey's Ice Cream, or Hungry Hobo. Trust AmeriFile's 30 years tax experience to handle any simple or complex tax situation. Remember, this tax season, save hundreds with AmeriFile, the best tax prep deal in town. Free Rudy's Tacos, Whitey's Ice Cream, or Hungry Hobo. AmeriFile Tax Centers, Davenport, Moline, and Clinton. Call 762-8087. That's 762-8087 or AmeriFile.com.
H&R Block is a registered trademark. Half the price taxes from last year's fees. $75 minimum.
Grammy-nominated Joe Bonamassa, hailed as one of the greatest guitar players. Blues rock titan Joe Bonamassa live in concert on Thursday, March 7th at the Adler Theater. Get tickets at the box office or online at Ticketmaster.com. Joe Bonamassa. Don't miss your chance to experience the guitar event of the year.
ESPN 93.5 is KJOC Bettendorf Quad Cities from the Sheedy Family Chiropractic Studio.
Welcome back, Quad Cities, who don't hassle us. We're local. Here in the studio with Adam Rosso. Adam, what's going on, brother?
Not too much, guys. Made it here. It's not great out there. Like I said, probably this is the worst of the 3 days that I've been driving around. That includes a trip to Iowa City and back on Tuesday. So
let me guess here. Main roads not bad. Side roads bad.
Exactly. That's what it was last night too.
Lot's horrible.
Yeah. Driving back from the station last night. You know, Brady 53rd. All that's fine. And I turned on the street to go to my apartment. Awful. Couldn't the traction control kept running in my car. I couldn't even get anything.
Once I got out of my car, the parking lots were like sheets of glass. So I was sliding all over. That's how it was last night. With the temperature being just above freezing, that rain's coming down. It's not melting all the way. So it's just slipping and sliding everywhere.
I'll tell you what, I'll take record cold, 32 below versus freezing rain and snow any day of the week. You can bundle up. You can layer up. This stuff, if you got to get around, which obviously we have to, it's not like this show or the sports or anything can not go on. So it's 10 times worse than
thank you for making
cold.
it in today.
Absolutely.
No.
Tried to get here a little earlier, but just all this stuff, all the cancellations.
Yep.
Dan Vasco and I are kind of plotting and running around trying to figure everything out here for tonight and tomorrow.
What's all on? What's all off for tonight?
I think everything's off. The regional with Alleman and Riverdale girls over in Aledo, that's canceled. Sterling Geneseo girls, which was a big game, that's canceled. I'm pretty sure every single event in the MAC has been canceled. So pretty much a clean slate wiped out. I assume the couple Western Big Six games has also been canceled on the girls' side. So looking at obviously Iowa, Indiana still playing tonight. Iowa women playing, and I think the Blackhawks are in action. So that's kind of a preview of the the sports we have tonight.
This doesn't make it easy on the athletic directors. It doesn't make it easy on you. It doesn't make it easy on Koss. I mean, you guys are working hard to try to get all this in. I don't envy you guys at all.
Well, it's kind of a nightmare scenario because then you have, rather than having, 6, 7, 8 games tonight you cover, they get pushed to tomorrow or canceled altogether. So then Friday night, kind of like last night, I mean, you had 15 games you could have covered last night if you had enough manpower. And, obviously you have wrestling, the big duel up at Bettendorf. You got the regionals at 2 spots in Illinois, and then you have a bunch of MAC games and some Western Big Six games. So, yeah, it just makes for a lot of juggling, but, the interesting thing will be is how many games, just get canceled altogether, because obviously the Illinois girls are already into playoffs, and then next week the bigger schools start playoffs, and then we obviously have state wrestling and everything else. So that stuff has to get done. I don't know if any wrestling stuff was canceled last night or carried over. There's obviously still Class 3A individuals, I think, correct? Or is it all individuals this weekend?
What do you mean? It's all districts, 1A, 2A, and 3A.
They're all complete now?
No. That you mean dual-wise?
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, as far as I know, but I could be wrong on the 1A, 2A duels, but I'm pretty sure that was it. The reason that this is also tough on the wrestlers is for weight reasons.
Okay,
they have districts in 2 days. I don't know schools' policies on if a school is canceled, if all activities are. You can pretty much make it not a mandatory practice. I know it really depends on the school's policy, athletic director's policy, whatnot. But it is tough on them for maintaining their weights. So
yeah, I mean, looking ahead, I don't know the entire statewide wrestling storylines, but man, Broderson's got to be a storyline, right? I mean, he's going for 3 straight?
3 straight.
And pinned everybody but one guy this year? Is that it?
I believe that was it, yeah.
That's
when he
just
bumped
a machine.
up 2 weight classes to wrestle Griffin Little from Bettendorf. I haven't looked at the finals for the IowaWrestle.com, Mr. Wrestle, Dan Gable, Mr. Wrestler of the Year, Class 2A. If he's not in the top 3, the finalists, I don't know why not.
I mean, if he doesn't get it for that class, I don't know all the other storylines, but
I wanted to look at that too, all the other storylines. I'm pretty sure Tatum Park, she was in the top 2, so she'll be a finalist for Miss Wrestler of the Year. Districts is right around the corner for everybody, and 1A, 2A, 3A, so that's state. State starts, Bettendorf beat North Scott last night.
Yep.
And so they're going on to state duels.
And I believe they're wrestling Ankeny Centennial. I saw.
I haven't seen the matches, but Ankeny Centennial is undefeated this year in duels. I do know that.
I want to say it was a 3-6. I think Matt Costed put that on Twitter. 3-6 matchup. Bettendorf the 6th seed.
That
Ankeny
makes sense because I think they were a 3 going into. Bettendorf was ranked 8th going into the duels, but I know Ankeny Centennial was ranked 3 in duels by the Iowa Coaches and Officials Association. Assumption's going to state duels again.
12 in a row.
Yep.
That's phenomenal for them.
New first-year coach.
It'll be interesting to see. Obviously, last night they had the comeback. I don't know where that duel started, but, Broderson and the other names escaping me kind of started everything with a couple pins, and then they come back after being down. Similar to Bettendorf, the heavyweights over at Bettendorf, the top 4 or 5 weights, just kind of put the hammer down on the Lancers there. And, it's interesting. I don't know if either team is complete enough. Jay, you might know better about Bettendorf. Is either team complete enough to win the dual title? I don't know. From what I saw last night, obviously North Scott's got some really big studs at those middle weights, but then it seemed like, the back end of Bettendorf was as strong as anybody. Just, I don't know if they can carry the entire thing into a possible state championship.
It's going to be tough with Southeast Polk and Waverly Shellrock. Those right there, those are the two. Duels is really strange. Bettendorf traditionally goes into duels very strong, going for the title. Same thing with Assumption, okay? They're going for the dual title. They're going to wrestle through it. They're there to wrestle. They were there to wrestle Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Some teams in the past have said, nope, we've qualified 9, 10 wrestlers. We're going for the traditional. We don't want to hurt anybody. And if they don't win the first round, then majority of the time junior varsity comes in. There have been times where, I know Bettendorf is one. They beat like Southeast Polk, and Southeast Polk said, their fans said, we didn't wrestle everybody. We sat some people down. But that's the thing. Bettendorf traditionally goes in there in the mindset to wrestle 4 days. And Assumption too. Don't get me wrong. They do not lay down for anybody. So in their way, I don't know. We have to look at the qualifiers from Ankeny Centennial and see what they're looking at, and if Ankeny Centennial is going for that dual title or not. It's people don't like it the Wednesday before. I don't really like it as well, but that's how the state sells tickets because people are going to Des Moines anyway. So they add one more day, they know they're going to go. Now, before the duels were there, they were in Cedar Rapids, and they were the week after.
Okay.
So and maybe there wasn't many tickets for that. So it's with any change, I think people are used to it now. With any change right away, there was some pushback. So with this weather, I don't know what's going to happen Saturday.
Yeah.
For districts, it's crazy. This is the craziest I've seen weather, and the way that it's affected local sports around here. The prep sports is insane.
Definitely historical stuff. So yeah, hopefully everything smooths out. I haven't looked at any long range forecast, but you'd obviously hate to have the state tournament disrupted. I mean, I know they'd adjust to get the teams there when they need to, but just with travel and weather and everything else, it's like you said, for wrestling, it stacks it up. If you keep missing days, missing practice, your nutrition's half the battle, especially in the 4-day gauntlet that you have to run through.
So just like anything else, take your time, get from point A to point B. 5 miles an hour faster isn't going to get you there anywhere faster unless you're on the highway. So just relax. Everyone be safe out there, and you don't have to be anywhere faster than the person in front of you or the person behind you. So that's just a little PSA there. All right, Rosso, a lot of things going on in the NBA. We've been talking about KD not liking the media. We've been talking about LeBron telling everybody how to run their teams. And then we just had one trade come in, and the trade deadline is we're 43 minutes away from the trade deadline, NBA.
Very good. Marc Gasol.
He just got traded?
Yep.
Conley, too?
The Grizzlies have agreed to trade center Marc Gasol to the Toronto Raptors in exchange for Jonas Valanciunas, Dylan Wright, C.J. Miles, and a 2024 second-round pick.
Essentially matching Milwaukee's trade from earlier, just getting a big guy. I mean, that's kind of what their chess match is.
Yep.
I was going to bring up the KD thing in buy or sell. We can talk about it right now if you guys have already touched on it. I don't get how a guy stands there with a straight face and says it's a made up, his lack of loyalty or his free agent situation is made up by the media. The guy's signing 2-year, 3-year deals? Like that's his own choice with options to get out of it. Like so you're going to have speculation when you're the second or third best player in the NBA. That's how this works.
Right. What I said was where them twisting his words recently on controversy within the team and stuff like that. Like his free agency stuff, they want to talk about it, talk about it.
Oh, I don't mean to stop you guys. Yeah. In a minute, though, we're going to get a phone call from Chantel from the Salt Lake Stallions of the Alliance. So whenever that goes in, I'll let you guys know. But I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're fine.
Because I do like this talk a lot because, you signed the contract and then you went out of there. But is it any different than all of a sudden they don't want you anymore and they waive you?
He also says, okay, so I'm going to contradict myself from what I said earlier, not just because you're here, not because you just brought that up, but just KD, I really like what he did last night. And saying the media, I don't trust any of you guys. I just want to play basketball. I get that. I understand that. I respect that. I really like that he's doing that now. But where was that earlier when there was this controversy stuff with the team, when you didn't know where you were going to go, all this? So he's kind of going back and forth a little bit.
Okay, we're going to the phones.
Go ahead.
All right. Hello, thank you for calling ESPN 93.5. This is Jay.
Hi, Jay. I'm Chantel.
Hi, Chantel. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How about you?
Good. How was practice for the Salt Lake Stallions?
Practice was great. We are looking strong. Our offensive and defensive side, both sides of the ball, are looking strong, and we're excited to go against Arizona Hot Shots this weekend.
Against the Hot Shots, huh?
Yes.
Okay, so talk to me about the Salt Lake Stallions. How's Coach?
How is he? He's great. He has about 50 years of experience, so he knows what he's doing. He has staff that he trusts. He has staff that have coached under him before, like at Idaho. And so he has people we have a strong coaching team, and he puts all his trust in them, so he just is excited about the team and all the talent we have.
And just to let everybody know here in Eastern Iowa, Western Illinois, the coach for the Salt Lake Stallions is Coach Dennis Erickson.
Yes, Coach Dennis Erickson.
Okay, so how is the team in general? What's the attitude like? Is everybody like really excited? I mean, I'm sure they're really excited, but what do you get from each practice? What are you seeing? We lost her. We had a bad connection.
Well, I was checking out the roster here quick.
Okay.
A couple familiar names on the roster. Matt Asiata, for the Vikings fans. He was a touchdown taker a couple of years ago from who would the running back have been? I don't know, AP, I suppose. And then receiver Kenny Bell, I believe the guy out of Nebraska a few years back. So those are two names that I definitely recognize. Not a lot on the defensive side that I'm familiar with. The interesting thing that I think could make or break the league are the lines. Like, obviously, the defensive and offensive lines, like, say what you want. That's a lot of how these winning teams build around, obviously besides quarterback in the NFL. I don't know if these guys, are these guys those type of guys that can get those contracts from the NFL, or is that where the difference in the league ends up being as far as, the talent difference between the top 2 or 3 levels of offense and defensive linemen on any roster in the NFL versus the top 1 or 2 guys on the Alliance roster? So that'll be interesting to me. I do like, I heard you guys talking, I do like how it seems like the NFL is behind this.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're going to try Chantel,
yeah, go
Chantel
for it.
again. Hey, Chantel, you there?
I'm here.
Okay, did we get cut off?
I think so. Must have been.
Yeah, we're getting some type of a clicking on your end. I don't know if it's just connection where you're at or just weather in general, the polar vortex where we're at. So
Actually, do you hear me better now?
Yeah, we can hear you fine. Just every once in a while there's a click. It's strange, but it'll be all right.
That is strange.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So the players, and I'm sure they're all excited. What's the overall attitude and practice and whatnot?
Well, everyone's excited, of course. I mean, going into the first week of the Alliance, we're not sure what to expect from the other teams, but everyone's just playing their heart out and working strong on both sides of the ball just to be their best by the time we get to the game.
I think looking at it, I believe you guys are the favorites to win the league when the odds just came out recently.
We're actually just behind Arizona Hotshot.
That's right. Yeah. So right out of the gate, you have the favored team, the 1A and 1B, huh?
Yes. So it'll be really good to see how we play against the Hotshots.
Do you consider the Hotshots to be your rival?
I would probably say so now that you say that, because if we are we're on the West Coast teams, and they're first and we're second, so I don't see why not.
So a lot of things that people look at around here, and we kind of figure the way that because when I messaged you, I explained to you that there's not a lot of knowledge about the Alliance itself, and in our area, and so we're trying to persuade our listeners and get people involved and excited about it. And one of the things we feel is one of the keys will be fantasy football. Give me some names on offense that some of our listeners should be looking for in fantasy football, people on the offensive side that they should be drafting. We lost her again. All right. Well, I don't know what's going on in Salt Lake or if it's a polar vortex.
I'm interested. That's an interesting market for me, just because it's got to be the northernmost market, right? I mean, the most potential for inclement weather at this time of the year. Are they building a team differently than they would in Arizona, where it's going to be 90 and sunny pretty much all the time? That's the intricate stuff that I think, I don't know enough about the rosters, Jay, but is that going to be a ball control, play some defense, grind it out type team, knowing that they're going to have, whatever it is, 4 or 5 home games in Salt Lake City, where it could be, bad weathers depending on, the climate up there in the mountains?
I'll have to pull up the rosters from each one of them, but as far as the fantasy goes, I've looked at a few things. I got invited to a league that I'm supposed to be. We're going to put you in our league, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to start a league. So why don't we try to take a quick break? I'm going to call Chantel this time and see if it works. But let's take a quick break, Serge, and we'll call her, and we'll just talk to her for just a few more minutes, and then we're going to buy or sell, and we'll talk about the Hawkeyes as well. I'm sorry for all this in or out, Rosso, so I apologize.
Van's Pizza Pub and Grill has the best Thursday night specials to encourage you to fight the cold. Enjoy $1 off all Van's signature wings tonight and $3 25-ounce drafts, $3 cooler shots. While you're there, try one of Van's specialty pizzas like the Iowa Farmhand, a pizza like no other with homemade farmhand sauce, diced pork tenderloin, yellow onions, and topped with diced pickles. Or try Jay's favorite, the Yo Adrian. Remember, you can get any of Van's food items to go. First, go to vanspizza.net to check out their menu. Then just call Good to Go Quad Cities at 322-2220 or check out goodtogoqc.com. All these specials are available at both locations, 3333 North Harrison Street or 217 Brady Street. Van's Pizza Pub and Grill, come get served.
This is UFC Hall of Famer Pat Miletich. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us. We're local on ESPN 93.5.
Get more more with McGrath.
Everyone knows more is always better, and that's exactly what you get with the McGrath Used Car Superstore of Davenport. Right, Gavin McGrath?
Without a doubt. We've got more of the used trucks everyone wants, and we'll save you more when you buy.
McGrath backs it up with prices from $10,988.
That's $10,988 on certified 4x4 pickups like F-150s, Rams, Sierras, and Silverados, plus pre-owned SUVs starting at $89.88.
And for those buyers with credit concerns?
It's no concern at the McGrath Used Car Superstore of Davenport. More finance sources to choose from and a team that works hard to get you approved.
It's tax time season, Gavin. Does that mean even more savings?
Absolutely. Bring in your tax refund and we'll double it up to $2,000.
More value for everyone at the McGrath Used Car Superstore of Davenport.
4618 North Brady Street in beautiful Davenport.
Online, McGrathAuto.com. Double your tax refund up to $2,000 varies based on price point.
Gobo Productions presents One Night of Queen. Since forming in 2002, Gary Mullen and the Works have performed to sellout audiences all over the world. And now they're back in the USA for a brand new tour. One Night of Queen is a spectacular live concert recreating the look, sound, and showmanship of arguably the greatest rock band of all time. You'll hear classic Queen numbers including We Will Rock You, Fat Bottom Girls, Another One Bites the Dust, Bohemian Rhapsody, and We Are the Champions. One Night of Queen, performed by Gary Mullen and the Works. This show will rock you.
Coming to the TextLayer Center March 24th. Tickets are on sale now at the TextLayer Center box office and Ticketmaster.com. Presented by Town Square Media.
ESPN 93.5 is KJOC Bettendorf Quad Cities from the Sheedy Family Chiropractic Studio.
Will you please hang up and try your call again?
That's how today's going for us here. The Hassle Palace with Adam Rosso. Don't hassle us, we're local. Here on ESPN 93.5 FM. You can watch us on Facebook Live. Either way, Lord of the Boards just having a day. Goes right along here with this weather. He's sliding all over the place. He's doing the best he can. Welcome back, everybody.
I think I got it.
Good.
We're going to try to call her back.
Okay.
I think it might have been on my end. So.
Sounds better already.
It's working so far, so good.
Hello?
Hey, Chantel.
Hi.
Hey, I think it might have been on our end, so I apologize. I appreciate you being patient with us.
Oh, you're fine.
Okay. So anyway, we were talking about Coach Erickson, talking about the team, about the Salt Lake Stallions, and possibly that Arizona Hotshots right out of the gate, they could be your rival because they're right now considered to be 1 and 2 in the alliance. What I was trying to ask you about was here in eastern Iowa, western Illinois, to get more interest, we feel like the best way to get people involved in the alliance, because all the teams are relatively below the Mason-Dixon line for the alliance, and we're above that. There isn't a team around here close. We feel like the best way is to get people involved in fantasy football. Is there any players on the offense that stand out that maybe you could tell some of the listeners out there that may be involved in fantasy football who to like target on their draft board?
Well, you know, our top 5 players, 2 of them are on the offense, and those would be Josh Woodrum and Joel Buonio.
Okay.
And the coaches see a lot, like they're very excited about those 2 for sure. Like they're probably, Josh Woodrum's going to be our starter quarterback, and Joel will definitely be on the field for the home opener.
Okay, what position does Darrell play?
Who?
What position does Darrell play? Josh is the quarterback. You said Darrell. What was the second name?
Joel. He's a running back.
Okay, the running back. Okay. Thank you. Adam, what were you talking about?
Yeah, I'm interested.
Oh, sorry.
Interested because I feel like you guys are probably the northernmost team in the most maybe variable climate, just being at the elevation that Salt Lake is. Do you think they built the team a little bit more, let's say, defensive focused, or maybe more focused on a ball control situation than others that have, whether it's Arizona or one of the teams in the South that'll probably have better conditions?
Like, because of the elevation?
Just because of the variable weather, I would say, up there compared to, whether it's Orlando, Arizona, Birmingham, some of the warmer, San Diego.
You know what? I don't think they focus more on, like, one side of the ball, like the defense or offense. I feel like they just want a well-rounded team.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I think, well, what they did was they kind of lumped your roster already for each team. They gave them their roster, and they kept it more regional.
Mm-hmm.
So some of the players are from, and you said, Adam, some are from Nebraska.
Oh,
so,
I see what you mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, we have, like, 17 Utah players, and then, yeah, a lot of, like, West Coast people that you're talking about.
Yes. Just more people that are used to the area and whatnot, and the variable climates. And you yourself, you're from Utah, aren't you?
I am, yes.
How did you get involved with the Alliance? Because we've talked to Mark Burnett from the Alabama Iron, and we talked to Tom Alexander from the Apollos, and they both kind of had different paths. How did you get involved with the Alliance?
Yeah, so being in Salt Lake, we've never had a professional football team, right? And I actually left Utah to go to LA to go to work in sports because they have LA has 2 of every professional sport. So I went to SC, got my master's there, and then I worked at NFL Network. And then once I found out the Alliance was getting a professional football team, I knew I had to be a part of it. So I was like reaching out to the people who worked in the office, just like showing my that I really wanted to work with them, and they saw that, and I was their first interviewee, and they liked my experience and my passion, and they said, we want to bring you out here and come work with us. And I took it like just quickly, and I moved everything back from LA back home, and it's good to be back home.
That's awesome. So do you guys have a big social media group too that works with you?
We have a social media manager, one, and then we have a marketing team, but our social media manager is killing it. Like, she just told me this morning that we got like 1,000 new followers in one day.
Oh, wow. So
yeah.
It's starting to catch on. I guess it just seems to be like the push, even though it was announced a year ago, it just seems like the Alliance push is really the last couple weeks. And I know this is not in your area or anything because I talked to Tom Alexander about this as well. But it's still 2 days away, and they have yet to release an app for the AAF.
Yes, we have. We still haven't heard when that release date will be.
All right. Well, it's about 48 hours away from kickoff. They gotta get going on that. But again, that's not your guys' thing. Tom just said like, hey, when it gets done, and keep your eyes peeled for that. Because I think that's what's going to help for the gambling aspect and the fantasy as well. I'm not for certain. I don't think Utah has passed any gambling bills since the repeal of PASPA in May. Have they?
I don't think so, no.
But you guys are right by Nevada, so that's one of those other things that we haven't seen any lines on any of the games or anything like that. But
how's the buzz there? I mean, obviously it's middle of Jazz season, middle of NBA season, but is there a decent buzz around the team, getting started here?
There actually is. Much like, so since we don't have a professional football team, you can imagine how our college fans are. So the fact that we have 17 Utah people, University of Utah, BYU, and Utah State, like every one of those fans are getting into the Stallions. Like they recognize the talent we have, the brand, and our fans are definitely on board. Just they're excited. They're buying jerseys. They're buying season tickets. They're asking all these questions about like where can they pregame and if they can get personalized jerseys. Like everyone's just very excited, and the fact that we're getting our first professional football team, you can imagine how everyone's just jumping on board.
That's fantastic. I know down in Orlando, a lot of their gear is sold out on the AAF store, but I know you can go to Shields and whatnot to get stuff. So I think that's great. Like you said, the 3 different college towns, rallying around the Stallions to get excited for them. So, anything else?
And we also have 4 Nebraska Cornhuskers fans and players, and so we got a lot of the Nebraska fans coming towards our team too.
That's half your receiving core, it looked like, with Pearsonell and Kenny Bell. So it's two good guys. Yeah. Have you had any interactions with Husker fans? Are they as delusional about the Stallions as they are about the Huskers?
Keep them.
We've actually had people comment on our, like we mentioned University of Utah players. We have commenters saying like, well, how about your Nebraska players? I'm only a fan of Stallions because you guys have Nebraska players. And actually, we just tweeted out an article I wrote today about the 4 Nebraska Cornhuskers. So hopefully we get some buzz from that.
Oh, good. Well, we'll have to retweet that out there for you and put that out there as well. Chantel,
Yes.
Tell everybody where they can follow you at.
You can follow me at Chantel Buchheit, ChantelBuchhi on Twitter, and I'm on Instagram as well.
Okay. Hey, thank you very much for your time. Sorry for all the ins and outs of everything, and we'll reach out to you again sometime during the season if you have time to talk to us and talk about how the season's going so far, if that's okay with you.
Of course, I'd love to.
Thank you so much for your time. Hey, good luck to the Stallions in their first game against the Hot Shots. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you again. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye. All right, we're short on time because of all that. Let's first talk about Iowa versus Indiana.
Hoosiers are back healthy. I think you obviously saw a gut check performance in East Lansing when they come back to beat Michigan State without Morgan for most of that game. He'll play tonight. Fran the other day was fully expecting him to play. I just think winning on the road in the Big Ten is tough. This will be an impressive win if they get it at Assembly Hall. Tyler Cook told me the other day, top 3 places, probably top 3 toughest places to play in the Big Ten. Assembly Hall's right up there with Mackey Arena and the Breslin Center in East Lansing. So I think Indiana is back healthy. Iowa just needs to be able to channel their defensive intensity and their execution on the road. And obviously it's tougher when you don't have the home crowd around you. But I think we saw that in those early season losses. And then it's kind of, reared its head at Minnesota in the first half. They weren't locked in. Penn State, they gave up over 80 points. They need to hold teams under 80 for sure on the road to have a chance to win, because just to be able to be offensively efficient on the road is so much tougher. It's a different gym. Joe Wieskamp was saying actually it's a different ball. So like Iowa plays with a Nike ball because they're a Nike school. Well, you go to Indiana, they're Adidas. So you're playing with an Adidas ball. You obviously get used to it and shoot around, and you get used to the venue and shoot around. But in the game, it's different speed and different way to
Wouldn't they have been
handle
doing
it.
that all week though?
Well, no, because they practice in Nike balls.
Really?
Each team, yeah, it's kind of they switched that for the Final Four of the tournament one year too. There was a contract with a certain ball manufacturer, and then it switched, and a lot of teams were talking about how that affected them. I think
They can't practice with the correct balls until shoot around, huh?
I think it's by venue,
That's
so
a
if you're
big- that's a
Adidas, if
big
you're
deal.
Nike, if you go to Maryland and they're Under Armour, then you play with. I don't know if Under Armour makes a basketball, but if they do, I assume they
Yeah.
play with it there, right? So,
Yeah.
and I don't know how for the layman, for you and me going shooting hoops at the rec gym,
Right.
I don't think it matters. But for these guys that are used to it, that are
You know what? It's been quite a while, but I can remember everybody fighting over the good ball. Nike, the Evolution came out when I was in high school, so we're talking late 90s. And I remember everybody always fighting for the good ball to shoot around with. And then there obviously some older ones that you wouldn't be using in games, but the ones you use in games, like from brand to brand, is very, very different. So
I prefer to use my one I got in the claw machine, the Washington Bullets one.
There you go.
I got in 1986.
The one you can palm,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
throw it down.
Barely. So that's the ball I use. So when you come shoot at my hoop, we all have to use that.
That really surprises me that even under contract, like if they're on film for something, they should have to use the ball they're under contract with. But if we're going to play another school that uses that ball, you should be able to practice that ball all week long.
Yeah, but then every school would have to have different baskets of different manufacturers. I just I don't know. I don't disagree with you, but it's kind of home cooking, isn't it? It's kind of home cooking, right? Like we're playing with this ball, we're used to it.
I really never thought of that. In football, like even in high school to college, high school you could have your choice over, as long as it was the regulation size and weight, you were fine. But we used rubber balls, and some schools use leather. That's a big difference, especially in weather conditions.
Yeah. Football, though, in college, they both teams bring their own footballs and cycle them in and out. Just like, NFL is standard, obviously, across the NFL, but college, they bring them in a bag.
But still, they're going to use their own ball to punt to another team. Or for a defensive back, you're going after a ball that's different than what you're used to. It's going to change up a little bit, but I guess I never really thought about that in college basketball. That's crazy.
Yep, and I can't remember. I definitely think it was the tournament. They had a new manufacturer years back. I don't know if it was Rawlings, I assume, for a while. That was kind of the standard, or Spalding, one of those two, kind of old guard.
Yeah.
And then it either went to Nike or it went to Wilson or something different, I think.
I'm surprised that one of those companies hasn't bought out the rights to NCAA Division I across the board. And then that was just that one ball for them. I understand the school might be sponsored by this, but for the actual ball, for the NCAA men's basketball,
you would think they'd work for that, right?
You would think that they would fight for that because, you have exclusive rights to that.
Big time money too.
Right.
Big time money. Yeah, that's an interesting point. Yeah, they, NCAA doesn't make the most logical decisions on stuff, so maybe they've tried that and they're asking prices. They're asking prices too much. You never know.
Rosso, you're crazy saying things like that.
So I think look at all these Iowa road games. They're pretty much toss-ups. I mean, even against Rutgers, even against Ohio State, Nebraska's not playing well, but it's just, you can use the Kirk Ferentz adage. It's tough to win on the road in this league, and I think this year it's a deep league. I don't know if the teams at the top are Final Four contenders or national championship contenders, but I mean, case in point, the other night Illinois gets hot, Michigan State turns the ball over a bunch, and there's an upset. So
that was a big win for them.
I think it's if Iowa locks in defensively and they play as well as they have been offensively, they'll get a win. If they have lax 4 or 5 minute stretches on defense, they won't win, and that's kind of the way it's going to be the rest of the year.
Quick thoughts on the Super Bowl?
Honestly, working the Super Bowl, this is, I think, the first time I'd ever worked during it. I maybe watched the first quarter, and that was about it. I didn't see the touchdown. I didn't see the pass to Gronk. I saw that Gilmore's interception, so I can't comment too much. I don't mind defensive battles. I don't think, especially on the Rams, it was good offense.
No.
And we tweeted that out, good defense versus bad offense. And I would say the Rams probably, just based on who they're playing, Brady and the Patriots, holding them to 13 points, that's probably good defense. Let's be honest there, right? Maybe Brady missed a couple throws. Wade Phillips had a great game plan.
Yeah, you pointed it out, and we said that he averaged 29 points against him, Tom Brady did, and we all agreed that that's probably where they'd score.
Yeah.
Anywhere between 28 and 31, and held them to 13. And we said it before, and we're not the only ones. If I were to tell you before the game that they were going to hold them 13 points, there was going to be a turnover on a missed field goal, you'd say Patriots.
2-touchdown victory probably for the Rams, right?
Exactly,
I mean,
yeah.
So I don't know, and I heard somebody on the national scene yesterday or 2 days ago talk about, Goff missed two touchdown passes.
Yep.
The one both to Cooks. I mean, the one to where McCourty recovered, that's inexcusable though. That's 3 seconds late. I mean, that you're the look you're getting. You can't miss that. The other one where it was actually not a terrible throw, but it was just a little late, a little bit behind, I guess, Cooks technically. And 2 plays. That's 2 touchdown plays. That's a big difference, and you can't make those mistakes against the Patriots. We've seen that. You got to capitalize on your opportunities, and they didn't. So the thing that I wrote down. We can get into buy or sell, or we can start one.
Let's do it.
So I was saying, are you guys buying or selling? This is the worst Super Bowl that you've ever watched.
Sell.
What about that blowout, the 49ers and Chargers?
Well, and I'm going to sell it too, just because they didn't. I mean, it was tied into the fourth quarter. I mean, you at least had some drama. Not that it was the best.
The Patriots had to decide to go for 3 or go for it on 4th down with minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
If they missed that field goal, it's a different game. We could be having a completely different conversation right now. Or if they try to go for it and they don't get it on 4th down, we could be talking about how epic the Rams comeback was and their march down the field and their miraculous comeback against, they would have only been down 10-3 and anything could have happened. They might not have been scrambling and throwing that, a pick and missed field goal and all that other stuff. So it came down to it. I don't think it was boring at all. It was a little lack of scoring. So
I think after this year, everybody had been used to these shootouts. That's maybe where we all were expecting a game in the 30s. Right. And I think to get a complete throwback to the 70s and 60s style football.
Well, and to be so far under the over-under was just comical to me.
But I agree. I'd sell that because I think, even 2, 3, 4 years ago when the Seahawks played the Broncos, that was, 40-something to 8? I mean, that was an awful football game.
That's how much it didn't even register.
I remember halftime. That was the Bruno Mars year. It was a halftime. I don't even watch second half. Let's look for Bruno Mars tickets when he comes to St. Paul. That's what we did because it was that bad of a. I mean, that's where you don't. That's
Ticketmaster.
Exactly. I mean, I can think of Ravens when they had that stud defense. They blew out the Giants that year. That wasn't a good game. That was the year Survivor was previewing, so everybody stuck around to watch Jeff Probst and watch Survivor. But that game was awful. So I don't. People overreact. We want hot takes. It was not a great, well played Super Bowl. But I don't think it was even close to the worst we've seen.
No, I sell that. What else you got?
All right, let's, this one, I don't know if you guys have talked about this or not. I've been trying to follow it. Ben Roethlisberger, buying or selling that he should be, or it's wise to publicly criticize his teammates. Because he's been, he's done it before. He's done it a little bit again here now with the contract situation with AB and everything. I heard Hines Ward yesterday was talking, I think on the Will Kane show here, it comes up after this. If there's anything that rubs your teammates the wrong way, it's publicly criticizing them. And I can't believe a veteran quarterback like that would do that. I don't understand it.
Especially being a quarterback, a veteran quarterback. His position has something to do with this here. If it was rival wide receivers competing for a spot, maybe, that'd be one thing. Or offense and defensive linemen going at it saying, we go against each other in practice all day. This guy's effort's not into it. But you're the quarterback of this team. You're the leader of the team.
And what's the end game?
Right.
What are you getting out of it? And I feel like, and Vasco can speak on this better being a Steelers guy, but we talk sometimes. I feel like it's another example of Ben's, you want to call it arrogance, you want to call it overconfidence in himself, thinking, hey, I can alienate these guys. If AB doesn't want to play here, I can bash him publicly. If Le'Veon Bell, if we're going to roll forward without him, I can bash him publicly. But eventually, aren't free agents or other guys going to look at it and say, man, that's the face of your franchise, and he's ripping these skill guys that he needs those guys to win. Like, it's not like Ben has had stiffs and he's carried him to the Super Bowl. I mean, go back to Hines Ward. Heath Miller was a great tight end. You got guys that have continuously performed. I don't know. I just think it's a bad precedent.
Their front office does a good job bringing guys in, drafting well. Okay, so like you said, he's not carrying stiffs anywhere. He's done this before. It's not like he has a fallback. And I know it's easy to say, okay, he's got 11 to 22, 10 others on offense, but 22 overall starters, and he's got an entire team. Whereas in basketball, if you do this as a leader, you can turn and spin this as, no, I'm motivating my guys. And you can see that, all right? So we're not really comparing apples to oranges. So you can't fall back. It's the same thing last year after the draft. I have no idea why they drafted a quarterback. Doesn't make any sense to me. Which also leads me to believe 2 years ago, or was it even, I think it was last year, in 2017, when after like week 5, he goes, I don't know, maybe I should just retire.
Yeah.
That leads me to believe, and I did at the time, I never really thought he was serious, is he's just arrogant to the reporters who are saying, like, you've struggled X many weeks in a row, and he goes, I don't know, guys, maybe I should just retire. And they take it as he's saying he's retiring. Really, he's just saying, like, you guys know it all, and since you're saying me I'm bad, maybe I should just retire. And I do think there's an arrogance to it. I've never been a Ben Roethlisberger guy, so that could be also a bias there too.
That's a great point when he brought up the whole thing. Like, he did awful. Wasn't it after the Jacksonville where he had 5, 6 picks, whatever that was? Yeah. Oh, maybe I'm not that good anymore. Like, you can't take the heat. Get out the kitchen. Like, these guys are doing their jobs, and you're not. You're like, that's a fair question. And to say, well, I'm going to retire. I'm not that good. That's not what they're asking. They're asking why you're struggling.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with you. I think it shows his arrogance. I think this type of stuff, calling out people, whether AB is going to be on the team or not, what does Juju Smith-Schuster think about it? Because he's your next number one option.
Mm-hmm.
What does James Conner think about it? What do some of those linemen think about it? Maybe they're on AB's side, and you don't know. You don't know the dynamics. I think it's terrible that what Antonio Brown did in the last week of the season. Don't get me wrong, but handle it inside. And it comes down to, I don't think Mike Tomlin can control that locker room. I think he's lost it. And I think he's lost Ben. And I think that Ben thinks he can speak his mind without any repercussions.
I want to bring up a point. It's a very good point, one that I've said before, and I'll say again. If one cattle leaves the ranch and 2 cattle leave the ranch, do you start blaming the cows or do you blame the rancher? The rancher's job is to fix that fence. It's not the herd's fault. So you can't sit there and say these guys don't want to be here, criticize them. There's a problem there, and whoever's in charge, supposedly, needs to fix that fence and knock this stuff off. And maybe they don't want to play with him. That's the thing. More and more people are starting to say the guys, the big money guys are saying, "I'm out of here. I want out of here." Again, this is all these things that we're talking about. It even goes into basketball. I want out. I want out. I want out. But there is a problem in Pittsburgh, easily.
And I'm interested. I heard some rumors. T-Roy was in here. We could talk a little more about it. But obviously, Jason Garrett he has a 1-year deal. This is the final year of his deal in Dallas. So I heard Sean Payton is a possibility there. But what about Mike Tomlin? I don't think Tomlin's long for Pittsburgh. I think he is a player's guy. But I also think a guy like Jerry Jones would appreciate Tomlin's at least bravado with the media. I think Tomlin's very good at coming off as kind of a figurehead of the team, which is obviously kind of what Jerry wants because, he wants to be able to control a guy, but I don't think he can control Sean Payton. Let's put it that way. Payton's got an attitude that would be more similar to like Jimmy Johnson, right, than Jason Garrett. And I think Tomlin would back down to Jerry Jones, but I also think Jerry would appreciate his kind of moxie and his bravado with the media. So I think this is reckless speculation, Jay. Let's believe it.
My favorite.
Why not Mike Tomlin to Dallas after this year? He's run his course in Pittsburgh. I think change the scenery for these guys. The only one who doesn't need one is obviously Belichick. But, if you're there 12 years or whatever, Tomlin's been there, I think that's maybe run its course and maybe time for a change. Same thing with Peyton in New Orleans. If New Orleans doesn't get to the Super Bowl next year, that's maybe time for a change. Peyton's been there 15 years at that point. So
that's an interesting one. The Tomlin one that would make sense is because you remember a couple years ago when Terry Bradshaw called Tomlin a glorified cheerleader. And, now we all know the nickname made famous by Mike Lombardi about Jason Garrett, the clapper.
Yeah.
He's a cheerleader. So the Tomlin one, it's kind of like you're just making a lateral move for a coach, but you're making a move to make people happy because you've made a change for Cowboy Nation.
Exactly.
But you've kind of just made a lateral move.
And I think you need to be able to handle it in Dallas. And I think Garrett's good at that because he's more, like you're saying, he's a manager. He's the CEO of the Cowboys, right? Or he's the figurehead. But you got to be able to handle that, and that's where I think Tomlin has the personality to handle it. And I agree with you. If Jerry still wants to be involved, and Tomlin's, I'm not going to say I think he's more involved with, everything than Garrett probably is. I think he would stand up to Jerry Jones a little more, but I don't think it's a personality like Sean Payton's going to come in where Payton's like, I'm running this, I'm doing it this way, and if you don't like me, I'll get out of here in 2 years and go to wherever I want because I'm one of the best coaches in the league.
I got to buy or sell for you.
Let's do it.
The Sean McVay coaching tree is a fad. It's the sexy pick. It's the sexy thing to do. It's the late 90s swing music, ska music. And everybody wanted to be the next Big Voodoo Daddies or whatever else. And then within as fast as Swingers, the movie could go to VHS.
So who do we have? We have LaFleur in Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
We have Zach Taylor in Cincy. Is there one more, or is that it? Because I don't think you can't say Kingsbury or any of those guys are,
no
McVay disciples, but it's those two.
Yeah, but that's still, more than Belichick got, his guys, but
I'm buying the fact that it's not going to last long.
This is a tough one for me. We talked last week about Belichick texting with McVay. You see how he kind of flipped. It's last year was similar personnel to what Jeff Fisher had. He flipped, made Jared Goff into something. Whether Jared Goff has staying power, I don't know. As far as the tree, though, I don't know anything about those guys. They've been coordinators, right? And quarterbacks coaches. That's where I am a little bit perplexed, especially with Taylor. Taylor wasn't the OC yet. He's the quarterbacks coach. I don't know. What are you setting him up to do in Cincinnati with that roster? And I don't know. I guess I will sell with you.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think Sean McVay is a great coach. I don't know that these people that are getting shots are qualified.
I think everybody's hit and miss. You don't know what you're going to get until they get there and they get into the system, they get into the rosters. You don't know. So too many questions to see if that's actually a thing that's tried and true or not yet.
I just think that I think it's going to be very, very hard for the Rams to get back to the Super Bowl. And here's another one. Buy or sell that they go back one more time in the next 4 years. You have to look at contracts, draft positions, because that NFC is no joke.
I'll buy that, though. I mean, their roster, I would say it'd have to be in the next 2 years.
Okay, and that's not easy to do.
It's not easy to do. We've seen that. I do think McVay's a really good coach, though.
Okay.
And I think that's where,
yeah.
I mean, coming into these playoffs, it was like, well, they're even going to win. Dallas is going to run them over, blah, blah, blah. Well, torch Dallas. They go to the Dome. I mean, they go to the Superdome and win, and say what you want about the calls and everything else. They handed Breeze and Peyton the first loss in the playoffs in the Superdome. That's nothing to shy away from. And the biggest question mark for me is Jared Goff, because I do think McVay is innovative enough to coach to his team's strengths. And a lot of NFL guys aren't. You do that in high school is how you do that, right? You coach to your personnel. If you need to tweak your system every year, you tweak it a little bit. If you got better linemen, well, maybe we'll run it more. If you got skill guys, let's get them the ball. NFL doesn't really do that, and I think he's shown the ability to do that, whether it was bringing in C.J. Anderson and running more inside and not getting Gurley the touches, whether it was obviously running more out of one-back personnel and basically keeping the same guys on the field all the time and not huddling to not give the defense a chance to really adjust once they talk to him in the headset. It's all that stuff that he's done that's innovative, which I think leads me to believe that he could be the reason they get back to Super Bowl more than anything.
But here's the problem with the Super Bowl then when you say that. 0 snaps from no huddle. Do you understand? That's not good. 0 snaps on first or second down from shotgun. And very little play action. All these things that are his bread and butter, he changed and then didn't in-game adapt.
He got out-coached.
100%, but he got scared too. Like he even said, he goes, I couldn't adjust to the game. Well, you totally adjusted your entire game plan to how you got there, and then didn't go back.
And I think
he adjusted in New Orleans.
The most interesting thing of that game, to me, is the question of, did they take Todd Gurley away? Is Todd Gurley injured, or did something else happen? Because I think he's their best weapon, right? With Cooks and him, that's your two best offensive weapons. And what did he get, 10 carries? And I don't even know if he had any receptions. Like I don't see how you don't try to get the ball to Todd Gurley more unless he's injured. Because, whether it's swing passes, screen passes, isolate him on a linebacker. They're playing basically a 6-man front most of the time on first and second down. Do something different to get the ball to Gurley, and I agree with you. That's where it was weird to see that they kind of just kept banging their head against the wall and not speed up the tempo, go 5 wide, do something where they can't just run this 6-1 front and basically dare Jared Goff to beat him. And they said on that last pick, you saw the Patriots guys saying that we knew if we got to him, he'd just throw it up.
He knew it.
He was going to throw it up. Well, if they know that, do something different to calm him down. Get the ball out on a screen pass. Run a draw play to combat the Patriots' pressure. Do something, and I agree with you there. He got out-coached, but he's second year in the league. He can adapt.
But you got out-coached by Bill Belichick.
Exactly. The best of all time.
The best there all time.
You're okay.
Rosso, thank you so much for coming in. We have to thank Megan and Nick for coming in for Dancing with the QC Stars. Thanks to Chantel from San Antonio Stallions. And Serge, your hassle pick.
My hassle pick. I already logged it in here in the comment thread here. We're doing the Lakers and Celtics, taking the over, which is 227 tonight. Lakers at Celtics. So making you guys watch LeBron versus Kyrie tonight.
All right.
We get some live music tonight at Harrington's Pub. Craig Smith is playing live music at Harrington's Pub from 8 to 11. Live music every Thursday night. Enjoy your favorite QC local musicians in a cool acoustic atmosphere. Moss and Nicole behind the bar. That's all I got, Jay.
All right. You guys have a hassle-free Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow. Stay safe out there, everybody.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.